Pour the brothers bond.
Being around you drives me nuts.
Is the pug snoring?
And not being around you drives me nuts.
Grab your wine glass and sit with your sweetie. Time to listen to Ash and the titular PD. Drunk
Like I got a traveler in me.
need to feed on blood like I'm addicted to type B. It's not a typo, I'm type A on the flow. Ties a hype beast, put a chain on the dough. Roll up the vervain, roll Spain in the cup. Turn my humanity off, not giving up.
Heck,
Other side sucking people up like twisters.
Bonnie's the anchor.
Jeremy's gonna miss her. The bro swap places Rick's back in the mix.
What's gonna happen on Vampire Diaries season 6?
How is the summer almost over? And yet, I feel like I got nothing done.
Hello, welcome to the Vampire Diaries, the Vampire Diaries podcast, where a guy is watching the series for the first time with a super fan who has seen every episode. I'm the titular Petey. Let's just say I put the Petey in Vampire, but please call me Pete, and I'm here with my co-host and co-parent, Ash. Hello, Ash.
Hello, Pete.
Ash.
What's up?
There's no sponsor this week.
Oh, no.
MFPD Red was canceled.
That's sad.
Despite our ringing endorsements for several weeks, MFPD Red. You know what? It wasn't just canceled. Netfang took it off their servers.
No.
So even
You can't even watch it at all.
no, you can't watch it on Netfang. They are in talks to. I can't even make up another name of a thing because everything exists already.
Right.
Voodoo exists.
Yeah.
They're in talks with Voodoo.
Just voodoo.
Yeah. And Tubi and Mubi and Scooby and they're in talks. So we might see an MFPD Red sort of like reboot. Right now, canceled.
Oh, all right.
Jimmy
It happens to the best of us.
Jimmy Vane, Detective Sipanex. We won't see any more of their exploits.
Oh. Any of their butts or something?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yep.
I'm like, shirtless? Or what was it? Butts.
Yeah. Oh, it's butts.
Got it.
Ash, do you have any vampire news? Have I talked about Nosferatu on the podcast?
I think you've mentioned it, that you want to see it, but I don't know that you've talked about it since you watched it. And no, I don't have any vampire news.
I liked it. Nosferatu. That's it.
Yeah, I talked to you mid-watch,
Yeah.
and you were enjoying yourself.
I was locked in.
Yeah. That's good.
Different take on a vampire. Well, original, more of the old school take, actually.
So what were the vampire tropes? No mirror, no reflection, no garlic,
Definitely-
no crosses, holy water. I don't
Definitely didn't mess with the sunlight, that's for sure.
know. Okay.
Was interested in the ladies. Had a big mustache.
These aren't vampire tropes, though. I mean, the sunlight one is.
I don't think they hit on the garlic and stuff.
All right.
But
Did
yeah,
they
it was good.
glitter?
No, definitely not.
Did they whoosh?
No, he was kind of just hobbling around.
Did he turn into a bat?
I don't think so.
Did he sleep in a coffin?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
It's more remember the vibes.
Did they drink blood?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't really following him around that much. It was more following around good old Nick Holt.
Some normies?
Yeah. And like I said, probably off the pod, how's Nick Holt going to be in Renfield and Nosferatu?
Mm-hmm. Maybe pigeon casting him or whatever it's called.
Pigeon casting him?
Yeah. Pigeonholing.
Pigeonholing and typecasting.
Yeah.
You combined it.
It's pigeon casting.
Yeah, that's good.
It came from a real place.
They should use that.
All right. Anyways.
Ash, tonight's episode, Season 6, Episode 14, titled Stay.
Stay.
And I just got one question that I asked many times during the episode.
Go ahead.
Did the kid Leroy title this one?
Yeah, when he was 3.
Right.
Stay.
Did he?
Baby Leroy instead of Kid Leroy.
Oh, the newborn Leroy. Did he collaborate with Justin Bieber to title this episode?
Yes, in fact.
Kid Leroy was in Y2K, that movie we watched.
Yeah, I like that movie. That was good.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. So, Kid Leroy has made a splash on the screen. Mm-hmm. Was his first splash as a baby titling this episode? I don't know. I didn't look into it.
I think we can just assume yes.
You know, some of the episodes in season 6 were named after songs from the past. Maybe one was named after a song from the future. Mm-hmm. Ash, speaking of the past, cold open. Mm-hmm. It's the past.
It's the past.
Forbes is healthy. Uh-huh. This is a bustling, speaking of MFPD, maybe not MFPD Red, but this was MFPD proper.
Right.
We have not seen an MFPD this bustling before.
No. Yeah, that's different. We got pug snores.
The pug is snoring, thank goodness. Mm-hmm. Lady Lockwood is still alive. She's calling the police. She has a 5 martini stalker sighting.
Yeah, I still don't understand what that means.
It must mean she gets drunk and calls the cops on, like...
Someone who thinks she is looking at her?
Well, they have that expansive estate, so probably just like the trees scratching at the windows and things like that.
Oh, okay.
I can't imagine she would see someone on her huge property.
Right.
For
it's
real.
just her being drunk and calling.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. I'm like, I don't understand this phrasing.
Teenagers are planning a bonfire over on Route 13. No one's complained yet, but they will. Mm-hmm. Is it Mystic Falls or Karen Falls?
No, she's just like, hey, watch out. But I guess, yeah, people will complain. I see, yeah.
That is kind of cool that these kids are just going to have a bonfire in the woods. I mean...
Isn't this the party that Elena was probably at, and then she called her parents to come get her? And that's when the Wickery Bridge happened?
I don't know. Maybe so. Forbes gets a phone call. She hates phone calls. She looks at the phone with dismay. She'll be right there to the hospital. I think we only hear her side of the phone. She'll be right there to the hospital. There was an accident at Wickery Bridge. Elena, where's her brother? Her parents are dead.
Yeah.
We learn all this. All right, now back to the present.
I think they show Elena like go on a stretcher or something like that.
Forbes is back in the present. Forbes is packing up her office. She has a box of open cases. Mm-hmm. She has an open case of open cases, you might say.
For sure.
I had a question. I said, you have to pack up your own office when you're about to die? Mm-hmm. That's crazy. I never thought of that.
Yeah, I think that's probably not true. Probably you could get someone to do it for you, but I think Sheriff Forbes is just the type of person where she just wants closure and wants to like do it herself.
Yeah, I'd be like, forget all this. I don't care about any of this.
Right, which, like, it's crazy. Spoiler alert to the end of the episode. Mm-hmm. She does die.
Yeah. Like
that night. So it's really silly to think back, like, at the beginning of this episode, she's just, like, looking through her case files and, like, packing. It's like, that's the last day on Earth.
Yeah, forget what book is she going to read last.
I know, and it's kind of sad that, like, Caroline and Stefan spent the day getting this cabin ready that she will never even go to.
Right. Weird. Okay. There's a pending case for Elena Gilbert. Mm-hmm. And very nice handwriting. Some prop person.
He did a nice job.
Yeah, like really put their nice little block letters on there. Elena and Damon are talking to Principal Weber about Jeremy going to art school. I was sad that it wasn't Principal Chris Weber from the Washington Bullets. If it was Chris Weber, I'd be like,
random.
Let my boy go to art school, Chris. Come on, man. You were great.
We had I think we had a Coach Weber in my high school.
Was his first name Chris? And was he a tall, great basketball player?
He was a tall basketball player.
Nice.
I don't know what his first name was, though.
Did he ever play for Golden State?
He was a white man.
This might be Principal Weber from the show.
Nah, different Weber.
Okay. Principal Weber has it out for Jeremy because he faked his own death for 4 months. He used drugs, etc.
Yeah. He has had a tumultuous high school career for sure.
This exchange reminded me of the Like a Boss video because no one's really listening to each other.
Yeah.
In Like a Boss.
The Lonely Island.
The Lonely Island's Like a Boss. It's Seth Rogen talking to probably Andy Samberg. And they're both kind of just like, so you staple this to this? And Andy's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they're not really listening. They're just kind of listing stuff.
Uh-huh.
That seemed like
they're
what was going on here.
They're not really having a real conversation.
Yeah, and it was kind of cut like, this person's talking, then this person's talking.
Yeah, I can see that.
Swallow sadness like a boss. All right, this
Like
principal.
a boss.
This principal doesn't want Jeremy to go to art school.
Well, he is early. Like, he doesn't want him to let him graduate early because he's failing and stuff like that.
So what is this guy's best case scenario? Keep him for another month or whatever?
You try to get his grades up, let him graduate on time.
Oh.
You don't really reward someone with an early graduation if they're failing. You gotta pass.
Yeah, I wasn't, because I was typing or whatever, or thinking of the nice handwriting on the case file. I wasn't sure what the principal's original beef was.
Yeah, it's just like, because I guess Damon had already got compelled for Jeremy to be able to go to the art school, but now he needs to go to the art school right now. So now they need to get him to be able to graduate early so he can go.
All right.
This is all what Elena thinks is happening.
Yes.
So they need him to be able to graduate early, but the principal's like, well, no. He's like not in good standing, basically.
And Damon compels Principal Weber to let him go anyway.
Yeah.
Jeremy and Matt and Alaric are taking shots at the grill. I said, this is weird. Matt works at this grill. It's an hour before it opens, and Alaric is way older than them.
Yeah, he's their older teacher person.
Sometimes guardian.
Sometimes guardian, yeah.
He's a lot older than them. They're underage.
Back from the dead.
And it's early in the day. Like, what if the grill opens for breakfast at, 6?
Yeah, but they're letting Jeremy have his celebratory drink before he leaves.
Yep, it's his last day in town. Ty broke up with his girlfriend, so he isn't there.
Right. And we don't see Liv, and we know Luke is gone.
Another weird thing about this scene, Alaric's girlfriend, Jo, gave Jeremy an STD test. and Alaric said, and that cleared up, right?
Yeah.
So Jeremy was...
Well, we know he was being promiscuous and drinking and doing video games and stuff when he was sad about Bonnie.
Oh, yeah.
With that girl that came into town.
Monique, I believe. Fake Sarah Salvatore.
Yeah, pretending to be Sarah Salvatore.
So not only did this girl get her head ripped off or whatever, but also...
She had STD, maybe?
They're shading her.
I also think that it could have been a joke from Alaric.
Probably was.
I think, yes, he had the test, but then he was probably like, yeah, no, that got cleared up, right? They're like, no, it was negative.
Alaric is a jokester. All right, Enzo is alive and calling Matt.
Okay, this is interesting. When I first watched the series, I really liked Enzo, and I do not like him this time around.
I know. What's your deal? You liked Kai. You like Enzo.
I know. I like Kai. I still like Kai. I liked Kai both times, but I used to like Enzo, but now I don't. I guess we'll have to keep seeing if that is true as the show continues. But his storyline is annoying to me.
Yeah, maybe he'll have a hero turn once again or something. All right. Rapid fire question. Who do you like better, Kai or Ty?
Kai.
Okay. Sarah Salvatore.
I had to make sure I said the right thing. I was like,
I put you on the spot. Sarah Salvatore walks into the grill.
Mm-hmm.
She's there to take pictures for the grill website, which most certainly exists.
Yeah, that's like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Stu, what are you doing here? How do you do it? It's from the Californians. Or what are you doing here?
Yeah. What are you doing here?
Yeah, that's better.
Like Fred Armisen?
Yeah.
What are you doing here? I don't know.
That's what Matt says, though, to
Okay.
Sarah.
I thought that this actor might have a secret British accent. I did not look into it, but a couple
also
of
don't
times.
know.
Hit me in the comments if she has a secret British accent.
I feel like that is an easy thing to clock, though.
A couple of her words were sounding a little, let's see, east of the pond, you might say.
Okay.
All right, Damon and Elena also come in. They have his diploma and what I'm going to try to remember is called a mortar board.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what the hat is
The
called?
hat, yeah.
Nice. And I didn't look that. I don't look up any of this stuff, Ash. It has to
Not
come.
motor boat, a mortar board.
Yeah,
Easily confusable.
yeah. I got into trouble that way before. They're like, move the rats. What's the little thing that you move?
The tassel?
The tassel. There. They're like, move the tassel, and I was like, okay. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but okay. Any college grads, give me a shout out in the comments.
They're going to graduate soon.
Yeah, good job. Be careful.
You got like a month to go. Don't flounder it.
Yep, don't be a Jeremy and graduate early. I don't know.
You can't compel someone to graduate you.
All right, but they did have to compel the principal. They tell Jeremy. All right, Damon.
And Jeremy doesn't care. And Elena's just like, I need a drink.
Damon got Jeremy a tiny joint, a jazz cigarette, in a small Ziploc bag. Which, look, the devil's lettuce sometimes comes in a little baggie, but a little joint in a little baggie?
A joint in a bag is silly.
That's silly to me.
Just especially because it's like one. I've
Yeah.
seen like a few in a bag,
Sure.
but not just one. You know, Damon was trying to be discreet, I guess.
Yep. Caroline and Stefan are talking about Jeremy going to art school. There are no high-paying jobs for artists, they say.
And they're not at the grill. You didn't say where they were.
They are bringing Forbes to a cabin. So they're at the cabin. Forbes is elsewhere.
Yeah.
Forbes
is at the office.
They are bringing games in Shakespeare.
They're setting it up for Sheriff Forbes to have a nice place to finish out the rest of her life.
Caroline has to go in Stefan's pocket to get his ringing phone. Forbes is calling Stefan.
And they're like, oh, huh.
Forbes asks Stefan to look after Caroline and help her move on with her life after she's gone. She did that at some point, right?
When they're in the hospital.
Damon is at Forbes' door at the office and is like, why are you working? Which that would be my whole thing, too. She doesn't want to leave her job with unfinished business.
Or she might become a ghost.
Definitely.
In Casper rules.
Oh, man. MFPD Afterlife Edition.
Oh,
I might have to call it Net Fang
okay.
or Voodoo or Scooby.
There's one actually called Voodoo, right? Yeah.
VUDU. I watched something on Tubi recently.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Okay.
But Tubi, I have some pitches for you. Anyone who works for Tubi, let me know. Here's a pitch. Less commercials. No, I'm just kidding. I'd put a show on Tubi for sure. I wonder if they have Tubi originals.
I have no idea, Pete.
A lot of, on Tubi, they have a show about Shakespeare called Or Not to Be. You know,
Why are you staring me down after you said that?
you know, one night Shakespeare was hanging out, and or maybe it was Hamlet. He was hanging out with Hamlet, let's just say. And Hamlet was like, "What art thou going to watch?" And he was like, "To be or not to be."
So Shakespeare was hanging out with his character?
Yep.
That he
Well,
wrote?
who was he based on? Caliban was there
All right.
from The Tempest. Someone check my facts.
Freaking, what's one of those fairies' names from Midsummer Night's Dream?
Jeff?
No. You don't remember those guys?
No. Steve?
No, they had silly names. No, I wouldn't know.
Okay. Damon is going to help her close cases, and he does by looking at the pictures of the murders, and he murdered those people.
Yeah, I kind of knew that, but also it's predictable to him to just be like, me. Did you have a second to think about it or no?
No. I was like, how's he going to help?
Yeah, he's just like,
I was like, maybe he was around back then, so he would kind of know.
oh yeah, Puck,
Oh, yeah,
Hermia or something, Titania, Lysander, Oberon. I definitely read this.
Titania. Did Kid Leroy do a song about
Nick
her?
Bottom, Demetrius, Helena.
Nick Bottom is a good drag name.
It is a good drag name. Also, Nick Bottom looks very fabulous.
Look up Caliban from The Tempest.
Is it with a C?
Mm-hmm. We're fact-checking live to see if I remember.
What do you want me to tell you about it?
Is that a person in The Tempest?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Let's go.
It's a half human, half monster.
I read that in like 7th grade. And I
Why
pulled
did
it.
we read this stuff?
Because Shakespeare's the classics.
I know, but like in middle school, we didn't know what we were reading.
Definitely not. So Damon gets his grubby little hands on Elena's parents' file. Forbes has to ask, did you kill
Yeah, she was nervous.
Elena's parents?
I liked how honest and like earnest that Damon was when he answered her. He was like, "No, Liz, like
Yeah.
I would never. You have to believe me."
He got real serious.
Which that would have been a crazy twist
Yeah.
if Damon, who was in love with Elena, actually killed her parents.
That would be crazy. They didn't want to go there.
That would like end the whole show. I feel like
Yeah, you can't come back from that.
no.
I mean, who killed Jeremy? Damon killed Jeremy, right? But then Jeremy came back to life.
Yeah.
But these parents have been dead and gone.
Right.
So yeah, they didn't want to go there. Okay, Miranda left Forbes a message 2 hours before they died. It's a whodunit.
Right. So she's trying to figure out like was something sketchy going on.
In the end, it's not.
Right.
And everything had an explanation, and I guess that allows Forbes to die peacefully.
Yeah.
But
But she's kind of upset that it wasn't like someone she could be mad at.
yeah, true.
She was just like, oh, it was just a straight up accident.
Yeah, I understand that. You want to be able to rage against the machine.
For sure.
But we'll get there. Jeremy is about to smoke the wacky tobacco. Elena catches him. She takes it from him. Alaric, they're talking about how their lives are weird.
Yeah.
Like, Alaric's supposed to be dead, and you were dead, and just different stuff that's
I'm
weird.
a vampire, yeah.
But that makes Elena want to take a ride on the Puff Express.
I'm like, why can't you just say smoke with Jeremy?
I wrote "smoke the devil's lettuce," but I think I already
You
said
already
that.
said devil's lettuce.
So I should have pulled up like great names for marijuana because they're all really funny all the time.
Yeah.
Caroline, I didn't. Ashley's making noises over here. All right, Caroline rolls up.
But anyway, so wait, hold on. Elena wanted to do that because it's like the most normal thing she could think of
Yeah,
is to smoke with Jeremy.
Caroline rolls up a little bike that she used to ride back in the day, and I think she looks at Stefan's bod while she's doing it.
Yeah, he's like fixing some electrical work, and he's got his sleeves rolled up and stuff.
Oh, no, he did not have his sleeves rolled up.
They were just capped.
They were very small sleeves. I said he's got the smallest sleeves, only about 10% of sleeve. It wasn't sleeveless.
No.
There was a bit of sleeve.
It's like a little tease.
It wasn't even a cutoff.
It's kind of like a thong for a shirt, where it's like, you know, you're not all the way naked.
Yeah.
But you got a little underwear on. This was a little t-shirt on.
Yeah. Show me most of the sep.
All right, I don't want to see your whole shoulder, just most of it.
It's almost more erotic that way.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, if you can just see everything, you're like, okay.
Whoa.
But if there's like a little strip of fabric.
Well, that's why she was having her feelings.
Stefan is fixing up stuff around the house. There's no place he'd rather be.
Yeah, and Caroline the whole time thinks that he's only helping because he said what he said to her mom, that he would take care of her and stuff like that, but he's being genuine.
Damon is looking at the file with Forbes. He gets some Brothers Bond out. She asked him about the very night. He did see Elena. Stefan pulled Elena out of the car. They were both in town for the mom. Oh, wait. I was like building to something, but it wasn't that. Oh. They were both in town for their mom's death date. I was like, they were both in town for the parents' death. But
I was not sure what you were going to say.
That's not it. They were both in town. The reason they were in town was because their mom had died back in the day.
Yeah, it was the anniversary of their mom's death.
She died of consumption. The Gilberts were taking the Wickery Bridge. Why not Old Mill Road or whatever they said?
Yeah, so they're thinking, oh, suspicious.
You know what it was? You know why they couldn't take Old Mill Road?
No.
They were shooting a music video, Lil Nas X.
Old Town Road?
Kid Leroy was there too.
Oh, Pete.
All right, and the question is, were they escaping town or what? But wouldn't they know if they were escaping or going home based on which way they were going on the bridge? Or does both to their home somehow also, is it an MC Escher-esque bridge?
Where it just goes around and around?
Where you can both go to your home and also away from your home?
Yeah, is that the stairs?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they've never showed us the roadmap of Mystic Falls, but it does seem that if Liz had spent really any time on this case back in the day, she would have figured it out immediately.
Yeah.
But she was upset and she was taking care of the kids and it was her friend, so you would think that would like motivate her to actually figure it out, but instead she was overwhelmed and just kind of let it go.
She was whelming. Jeremy wants Elena's car, which I believe is a Ford Escape.
It is, yep.
Roughly
2012,
maybe 2011. That body type. Not sure how we know anything
I don't know how
about
we're
that.
an expert on that.
Jeremy wants Elena to compel herself a new car, which I'm trying to think. You would have to compel a lot of people because you would have to compel. I guess you could just pull someone over and compel them, but you could also, you would have like title.
You need, like, their registration and stuff.
Yeah, if you wanted a new car, you'd have to compel everyone at the dealership. You'd have to compel the person who sells you the thing. You'd have to compel.
Well, the person at the dealership kind of does it all. So it's probably easier to just compel, like, to get a brand new car than it would be to pull someone over, because then you'd have to, like, get their paperwork and sign it over to yourself.
All right, but what about insurance? You just be like, I popped up with this new car insurance.
Yeah, you'd just be like, I have a new car that someone gave to me.
Or if you ever got into an accident, you just compel a mechanic.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a vampire, you can just go nuts with it.
Okay. They talk about cars and French fries. Elena ate all the fries.
Because she's high. She's got the munchies.
From the grill.
And she is being like, with not Damon, Jeremy.
Forbes calls them, but they're high.
Yeah, she's like, oh my gosh, the sheriff is calling.
They talk about their parents dying. Elena shut Jeremy out and made him Aunt Jenna's problem.
Yeah, Elena feels bad about like how she reacted.
They talk about healing. Elena answers a call from Damon, but not Forbes. Damon's at the sheriff's office. Come to the sheriff's office. She's too buzzed. Get eye drops, half a pizza, and you'll be good.
I thought you said 3 things.
Yeah, maybe. But Elena will... Oh, a spritz of perfume or something.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And he also says, move the tassel on the mortarboard on your way over.
So she leaves Jeremy.
Elena will walk over because she's not going to be driving his Ford Escape.
No. Also, she's already in town.
Yes.
At the school.
Remember when Frodo
No.
had to walk all the way to mortarboard with the one ring?
With his tassel?
With Sam Tassel? I'll let you sit in that one for a minute. Okay. Enzo is there all of a sudden. He's mad. Jeremy tried to kill him. They don't like each other. Sarah is showing Matt photos of the grill. Then he sees a picture of her on there, on the camera's screen.
Yeah, he's all, oops, too far.
The grill is now open. People are there. Matt gets called by Enzo. Bring the photographer to the tunnel off Route 13. And then we see Enzo's side, and he's stepping on Jeremy's face.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And Jeremy's just like trying to get his foot off his face, but he just can't.
Yeah, that was a reveal. Caroline is setting up this cabin. Stefan found the brothers' bond she brought. She brought a case of it. That'd be so much money.
I know.
Even like a case of like Jack Daniels would be hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, for sure.
But only the best. Well, I guess she's a vampire too. Just go to the liquor store and be like, give me some of this. Forbes, all right, could be reading her last book. Caroline doesn't want to be held responsible for her last literary experience.
I kind of related to this with Caroline, of like how I would want to be in control of those things and be like, it has to be perfect and it needs to be like calming and whatever. And like, what if, I'm like, hey, read this book, you're gonna love it. And you're like, oh, I hate this book, and then you're dead. I'm like, no.
I want to read, I assume, but I do not hope, but maybe, I don't know.
Stephen King
Yes,
book?
I'll have mixed feelings about outliving Stephen King, but the odds are in my favor because he's an old man. But I hope maybe he'll never die. But
Maybe he'll be a vampire.
Maybe so. But maybe he already is. Ever read Salem's Lot? But
How good that I predicted that though, just right now.
Yeah, I'll read the last page of his last book, and then I'll die.
Okay, well, I won't let you do that for a while. I'm going to hide it.
Yeah, well, I'm way behind, so he writes faster than I can read.
Yeah, because you're starting behind.
He's crazy. Stefan will curate the books. He's read all those books anyway. He read The Tempest.
Yeah.
He read Lord of the Flies.
He was in the original The Tempest.
He was in the original The Tempest. He read Night by Elie Wiesel. He read Wuthering Heights.
And these are the books you read in high school?
These are middle school. Maybe high school.
No, I reread Night in high school. I don't remember. Oh, I do remember some of the books we read. We read Where the Red Fern Grows in middle school.
Yep.
Midsummer Night's Dream was middle school.
He read Hamlet. He liked the part where Shakespeare was sitting on the couch and said to be or not to be.
Oh my god.
So He will curate the books.
What time is it? Okay.
He's read them all. All right, Caroline's going to open the Brothers Bond. Elena is looking at the case file. There was luggage in the trunk. There were no skid marks. They drove right off the road. She was texting at the time. She was texting Bonnie.
Yeah, she was embarrassed that that's what she was doing.
Yeah, but like, why? She was a teenage girl not driving.
Right.
That's
But like,
weird.
after the fact, you were like, I wish I was talking to my parents or something, you know?
I guess. Forbes took care of, we talked about this, Elaine and Jeremy. Mm-hmm. Aunt Jenna was failing at the time. I guess she was only a little older than them.
Yeah.
All right, this is insensitive, but Forbes then has a cancer attack, I said.
No.
Because, she was totally fine.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden she's like, oh, I'm sick.
When she's in her bed?
No, here at the office.
Oh, at the office.
She's like, ouch.
Yeah, oh, right. It's like, yeah, all of a sudden
And then she's like, oh, and then it passes, thankfully. But it's like, okay. She had a moment of pain. All right. Sarah and Matt are walking through this shady tunnel. Mm-hmm. Do you think graffiti is a big problem in Mystic Falls?
apparently.
She takes pictures of the graffiti.
But he poses it as like, this is a good place to take pictures. So that's why she comes with him.
Yeah. The pictures of her on her camera were for her roommate's art final. Not that she has a boyfriend that was taking the pictures.
Hint, hint, Matt.
And then Enzo hits Matt with a car.
Yeah, like super hard.
Yeah.
Matt goes flying.
Yeah, that was crazy. Mm-hmm. I was like, what's your game, Enzo?
Yeah, he's always got some long plan that we don't know. That is different about Enzo than like everyone else because all the other characters explain their whole thing like 100 times. And Enzo's just like, come here. And then he does a thing that we don't expect.
If Enzo was in a Bret Easton Ellis book, he would be a sick man because he was like, I'm going to make her do things she's never dreamed of. Like in the last couple episodes. I was like, that's really dark. But this show isn't that dark, so it won't be that big a deal.
Yeah.
But if he was saying that in like Glamorama or something, I'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
he really is going to do
Something crazy.
some crazy stuff that I've never heard of before.
Right.
But, so we'll see. I mean, hitting Matt with a car is mean for sure.
I mean, yeah. Matt's like pretty much dying.
Yeah, and then he heals him later, but we'll get to that. And,
Do you eat some celery or broccoli, really?
Yep, both. Stefan is drinking on the porch. Caroline tells Stefan about the cold cases. Stefan realizes it doesn't matter what mom your book reads, what book your mom reads. Life isn't about the final moments. It's about the moments leading up to them. That's true.
Yeah.
For sure. You can look back over the past for sure, but also you can only live in the present. But I guess you are dying.
We're at the end of your life. You probably look back, right?
Yeah. Stefan is being deep. He's like giving a speech for once. Caroline wants her mom's death to be perfect. She wants control of her mom's death, but she wants control of everything.
Right.
They're holding hands, Stefan and Caroline.
They are. They're like looking at the sunset also.
Caroline is glad her mom asked Stefan to look after her, but Stefan is not there because of her mom. He's there because they're friends.
Right.
Also, Stefan has lost a mother, as we heard earlier, when he was in town that one time. He puts his hand through her golden locks.
Keep going.
That's all I have. He didn't like hearing she hated him.
I'm like, we're getting an audio book version.
His other hand moves the tassel on her motorboat. She never really hated him, though. Did I already say that?
No, she was like, we both know that I never really hated you.
They smooch in the sunset, and then they are awkward after that.
But that's their first smooch.
Yeah, crazy.
What'd you think?
Long time coming, I guess.
Yeah, long time coming. It's like, I feel a little bit happy for both of them, but also the Stelena years were the best.
Mm-hmm. You speak as if they are over.
Well, they have been for they're still currently over.
We'll see. All right, Matt is hurt. Enzo rolls up. Do you need help? And Sarah's
He's
freaking
like,
out.
yeah.
Just help him. He bites his wrist, heals him with his blood, and whooshes away. Mm-hmm. So he lets Sarah into the vampire world.
Right.
Into the knowledge.
That's part of his plan, but we don't really know exactly why.
Jeremy's talking to Elena.
I told you that the ship name for Caroline and Stefan was Steroline.
Uh-huh.
But I had to look it up because it sounds really bad. But I am right. It is that.
Yeah, their kiss was a little sterile line, if you know what I mean.
You know what I mean? Like, Steroline is not a good name.
I think I put that on my knee the other day after my hockey injury. A little sterile line.
But yeah, it's interesting that Enzo is like, I'm going to show you something. And because every other time it's like you compel someone so they don't remember that you're a vampire. But he like wants her to know.
Jeremy is putting frozen vegetables on his face injury. Mm-hmm. Elena tells Jeremy about what she learned with Forbes.
Well, at first she's like, what happened to you?
And was there anything out of the ordinary of that room? What? I just melded many sentences together. Was there anything out of the ordinary about that night from Jeremy's perspective?
Oh, okay. That was anything out of the ordinary about that room is what you said.
Well, Jeremy used to smoke pot in his room.
Okay.
So he got caught. Mom was Melinda Gilbert, was joking about how she was going to have him arrested, I guess.
Well, not like joking to him, but like, I think like scaring him. Mm-hmm. Like, well, then I'm going to call the cops. I'm going to call the sheriff right now.
She does call the sheriff, leaves a message. That was the last time Jeremy spoke to his mom, fighting through the door. Right.
That's sad for Jeremy, but also this gives clarity to Sheriff Forbes and Damon about what the call was about.
Definitely. Also, he was probably a little high. He was like, which that kind of sucks too. It's like,
yeah.
Like even later, it'd be like, Elaine being like, Jeremy, our parents are dead. He'd be like,
no way. He wouldn't do that.
Did they leave any snacks?
No.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to keep doing that. Damon is on the phone and says that makes sense.
Yeah, you said this was a lot of phone calls in this episode.
So many phone calls. Oh yeah, later, Elena on the phone. So many phone calls. The message was a joke. Miranda wanted Forbes to bust Jeremy. What about everything else? There was a storm the day before. Okay, blah, blah, blah. No skid marks. Road was slick.
Yeah, it was just an accident. They were going to go on a trip. They had to cancel a trip.
Yeah, there's a little...
Slick. There was a tree down in the road. That's why they had to take the road.
Like a Net Fang original movie by Ryan Johnson or whatever, the Knives Out movies. The whodunit has come to a close with perhaps not the mysterious thing at the end that you were hoping for.
No, not a trickery, just a full accident.
Yep. Yeah. Forbes is Audi 5000. She leaves her badge, turns off the light, and I said, now she's Citizen Forbes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Elena's on the phone, so many phone calls.
That moment, though, reminded me of, like, leaving my classroom at the end of the school year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though you're so excited for summer, it feels weird to, like, leave it and not see it for many months. Well, not many months, but, like, 2 months. And you're like, oh, can I really just, like, leave here? Like, it feels like a weird closure where you're like, I'm so excited to be done, but then also I'm going to miss the kids and, like, come here every day. But, definitely. I mean, I'm sure she's not excited to be done because she's dying. But it still reminded me of that.
Yeah, it reminds me of Will Smith moving out of his house in Bel Air.
Oh, yeah.
And just standing there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Uncle Phil has already hugged him and left.
Mm-hmm. Everything's empty.
DJ Jazzy Jeff has been thrown out the door for the last time.
Mm-hmm.
Carlton has
danced his way out.
Danced his last snapping dance. The sheriff is getting worse. Elena tells Jeremy. Jeremy's like, now's not a good time for me to leave, but Elena talks to him about all the times he could have died, so he should get out of there and have a normal life like a normal kid. And I said, even though he's like 30.
Mm-hmm. Elena always wants him to have a normal life. Remember when he lived in like Iowa or whatever?
Yeah, with the original brother.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say Kai, but
I know. So do I.
Cal, let's just say.
Sure.
I think his name was Jeff. Okay. Alarc's there.
Tim.
He's taking him to the airport. And Elena's like, I am going to give you the 2012 Ford Escape XLT.
Sweet.
In blue or whatever it is. All right, Damon is helping Forbes. Says she looks hot. Which I wondered if they were going to have one last smash. I said that too in the episode. I was like, is that her last wish? I don't know. She wanted a conspiracy or supernatural reason that the parents died. It was a stupid accident. She's upset. She wanted someone to blame. She did everything right. Damon says sometimes terrible things happen to amazing people. And it's ironic. She's one of the only people in Mystic Falls to die an ordinary death. Mm-hmm. She is exceptionally ordinary. Caroline's not ordinary.
But she likes it.
She's extraordinary, and she's proud of her. And then Forbes thinks Damon didn't get to spend time with his mom when she died. Mm-hmm. He blew off the funeral, didn't write the eulogy, and then he's going to write Forbes' eulogy.
Yeah, she asks him to.
And she says, get me that drink, and he'll be right back. And then she goes into a coma. Mm-hmm. Caroline and Stefan run to the hospital. Damon is there. Forbes is in the coma. Caroline is mad and sad. Smad, you may say.
Right. I mean, of course you gotta be mad. You're like spending the whole day not with your mom, and you could have been, and then now she's in a coma. Like, that's the worst.
Stefan calls Ty, come back to Mystic Falls. And Damon says that Forbes is stable, but she doesn't have much longer to live. She has a DNR also. Mm-hmm. Caroline is sitting with her. She should have been with her all day. Stefan says she didn't know. And she doesn't remember the last thing she said to her and wanted to be with her in her final moment. And Stefan says, you still can.
Did you remember about that, like before Stefan said it, or even when he said that?
No, I'm not thinking about the future when I'm watching it.
No, because they talked about, we know they did that with Catherine.
I do remember that. I do remember that they were in that brightly lit room sometimes. Well, and that's what I thought that 1994 was at first. Oh, mm-hmm. Alarc and Jeremy are out in the middle of nowhere. He's sending him to be a hunter on the bus. He has a bag full of weapons.
Is that a big surprise to you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It does really seem like he's going to art school this whole time.
Yeah, he even was drawing that one time. He doesn't have paintbrushes. He has stakes.
That's true.
Jeremy loves kicking vampire ass, let's just say. Mm-hmm. And he said that, actually.
It's funny.
Alarc will send him leads. They hug, and if Bonnie comes back, let me know. He goes to Albuquerque or something like that.
And Alarc says he's proud of Jeremy, and they have a little good moment.
And now Jeremy's going to do that, I guess. I was thinking that...
He takes the bus.
Just like that episode, season 4, episode 23, or whatever it was a backdoor pilot. Mm-hmm. for the originals
yeah.
down in Nolans. Mm-hmm. I was like, this would be funny if it was a backdoor pilot for like Jeremy Gilbert, vampire hunter in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
It'd be like, that would be not a good show.
No. But yes, I can see how you could see that like leading into a different show altogether. Yeah,
this 30-year-old, 17-year-old is going to be in this New Mexican town. I don't know. All right, sad song montage.
Yeah.
We get these periodically. Jeremy's leaving. Stefan and Caroline are opening their minds.
Right, so they can go into Sheriff Forbes' memories.
They go to when Caroline was riding the bike. And this was actually really nice and poetic in a way. Mm-hmm. Don't let go, I'm not ready. Yes, you are. I said that's nice.
Yeah, that was an emotional moment.
Yeah.
Like you can be alone without me. You got this. Yep,
and it's the metaphor of Caroline riding the bike without the training wheels. Mm-hmm. That's really nice. Everyone's there to say goodbye. Even Matt, which that was a surprise. He popped up, even after all he's been through.
Even though he's full of vampire blood.
Yeah. She dies. This is another...
But she's, like, smiling while she's having this memory and stuff. Like, she looks peaceful.
Yes, but I feel a little bad. I wonder if the actor felt bad because not a good angle on her in the hospital bed. She's kind of like...
Yeah, I feel like that's often true.
Yeah, I was like, that's her...
But she looked really good in the memory, though.
Yeah, that's true. I was like, that her? I'm feeling like Damon right now. Just kidding. He wasn't even like that. Okay, on the one hand, like, is that how the actor is going out and that's her last scene ever, but everyone can come back to life in this?
And
so
also
like,
there's a million flashbacks all the time.
Right. Are we going to have Ghost Forbes, MFPD Afterlife, which is sounding more and more like a good idea to me.
But she doesn't have unfinished business anymore.
No, true. And she's not supernatural. In fact, she's very natural.
She's very natural. But she's a good character, right? And I always liked how... That's the end, right? That's the last moment. I always liked how Damon and her had a good friendship. And, like, even in this episode, you didn't mention it, but at one point she's like... or maybe you did mention it, how her friend killed all those people or whatever. But she's, like... says that he's one of her best friends, which, like, that is true for her.
Damon killed all those people, or who else?
Damon did.
What about that pastor who exploded everybody? Mm-hmm. He did the wrong thing.
For sure.
And he thought they were all coming back?
Yeah.
And then they didn't, right? Mm-mm. Yeah. That was dumb.
How many fangs?
2 fangs.
Wow.
Pour out some Brothers Bond for Sheriff Forbes.
Yeah. We didn't get to see what's up with Bonnie or Kai or Liv or Ty, but I think it was a well-done episode for sure. And it was emotional and, you know, Stefan is finding love in a hopeless place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, I'll go 2. I'll go 2 with you.
Ash, now is the best time, if there's ever a good time, to buy summer merch.
Okay, wait, you didn't even give any Pete-dictions.
I'm past that.
No, you have to.
Ash, I was on a roll.
You have to say it later.
When you know what I'm talking about, you're going to be sad at yourself.
No, but...
Pete-dictions, Enzo's going to keep doing weird stuff. Jeremy's probably going to be gone for several episodes until Bonnie gets back. Unless why did he leave? He had to go shoot.
You think we're gonna like see what
Shark
he's doing
Night
over there?
3D or whatever movie he was in, Beach Shark something. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe in the way where he like gets a phone call and he's like, "All right, let me just finish up steak. All right, I'm heading back." You know, I don't think he'll have a whole like plot thing over there.
It's an interesting episode though because like usually it leads up to something terrible happening, but this kind of like ended things. Yeah, what was this? 14. So there's 8 more episodes. I don't know. There is the arc of Enzo. Mm-hmm. That's the thing that's kind of ramping up. But yeah, the Kai is
wherever he's at. So, like, Kai and the twins and Joe and that stuff is on ice right now, kind of.
And Bonnie's still.
Yeah, so I assume Bonnie's going to come back. Elena, who knows what's going on with her. Stefan and Caroline might continue their relationship.
All right, thank you.
I would assume.
We needed the Pete-dictions. You can skip it.
All right. The anniversary of our beloved pug is coming up very soon.
Yeah, this weekend.
So there's no better time to go look at the summer merch. Her name was Summer. tpublic.com/user high dive, whatever. Just go to tpublic and look for the high dive stuff. And there's summer merch there. If people buy it, I'll donate to the Pug Nation Rescue of Los Angeles, where we got our current pug, who's a crazy member of our family. But also, if you want to just straight up donate to them, pugnationla.org. Pugs always need lots of care.
Yeah, they need a lot of medical attention oftentimes.
Yeah, they're crazy beings on this earth.
And also the summer merch is really cute.
For sure. And you don't just have to get a t-shirt. You could get probably like a hat or something. You used to be able to get notebooks, which all my notebooks would be that. But I don't think you can get notebooks anymore.
Oh, we like the notebooks.
Follow on Instagram the Portable Producer. That's the new hotness. Forget those other Instagrams. In fact, don't follow anyone but me. Just kidding. But we're doing numbers. We're getting listeners. You're telling your friends. We appreciate it. But let's hear from you.
Yeah, that'd be so fun. If we could hear from people more often, we could do a little, like, read a review segment and stuff like that.
Yep, I want to shout out Dads and Grads. That's coming up. And, all the regular stuff.
Why did you just talk about dads and grads all of a sudden?
Because we were talking about mortarboards.
Oh, okay. Mother's Day comes first,
Yep. We know.
All right. Don't forget to celebrate your mothers.
R.I.P. Forbes.
Oh.